Welcome to my new channel. So I'm going to be doing movie reviews, TV show reviews, and anime reviews. So if you think that that's something that could interest you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on that bell notification so that you can be told when I upload next. So today we are talking about Alice in Borderland on Netflix. So Alice in Borderland, like I said, is on Netflix, and it follows this trio of friends who discover that they have been transported to an abandoned Tokyo, Japan. So through a series of circumstances, they're forced to participate in these wild and crazy games, kind of like Squid Games, but it's not really children's games. Um, so kind of like Squid Games in the fact that it's a sleeper hit and it's wild, but not like Squid Games in the fact that it's not children's games that they're playing. They're playing all kinds of games, but I don't want to go too deep in case some people want to watch this and then don't want to be completely spoiled. So with that being said, this first half I'm gonna have a little non-spoiler review, and then in the second half, if you're like me and you like spoilers, that's gonna be the part where I kind of go more into detail about kind of what I've watched, what I liked, what I didn't like, without having to worry about kind of like censoring what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and get on back to the review. So, like I said, it follows this trio of friends, and I will say that the show does a pretty good job of in giving you enough like emotional connection and stuff to each character that it kind of introduces, because it gives you a backstory on each character, and then it kind of gives you enough time to really like connect with that character and kind of be emotionally tugged on by the characters that you're watching throughout the series. And I will say it does that overall pretty well. The first half I think is stronger overall than the second half, which I guess is good because the first half is what really draws you in, and then the second half you've kind of already watched, so you're like, well, I'll keep watching. And it's not that it's bad, it's just not as good as the first part. So in terms of characters, they're done justice. Like, you know how some series they kind of focus on like the main person, which in this case is Arisu. And I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, but that's I think how the English dub says it, so that's how I'm gonna say it because that's how I heard it. So I apologize in advance. But some shows will focus on like the main character, kind of like push the rest of them kind of to the wayside because they don't matter. But like this series, they all kind of matter. Like they give you backstory. They're all pretty important to the plot. Like it's not just because of the main character, in this case Arisu, that the characters kind of get out of situations. Like everybody kind of contributes, which I really liked. It's also had a lot of like mind elements to it, which also is a good thing. Also kind of kept me kind of drawn in. And that's pretty much all I can say for this part. For the first part, the story was pretty strong. I liked that the characters were given justice. They were pretty balanced in terms of screen time, though of course the main character did get a little more, but that's to be expected. Let me see. Lighting and stuff, costume design, pretty standard, pretty good. Actually, I mean, they were kind of pretty true to the material. You could definitely tell that the setting was Tokyo, and you can kind of tell as they kind of moved through the different set pieces how much time and effort they put into everything, because it really looked really nice, like chef's kiss. But the second half didn't have that special sauce like the first half. I don't know who dropped the ball on that, but whoever did the first half, they should have done the second half too. But the second half kind of devolved into one of like a generic story, but I guess that had to make sense because it opened them up for a season 2, which has been confirmed that they're getting. So and that's pretty much it for the non-spoiler part. I would definitely recommend this, and I would give Alice in Borderland probably a 7.5 out of 10, just because, like I said, I really enjoyed the characters. I really enjoyed the unique premise, because even though they're playing games, they do it in such a way that like you don't know, are the characters going to survive? Are they going to get through this match? So it was really engaging throughout the series, so I really like that. So that's kind of where I'm giving that 7.5, but then it's not, you know, an 8, 9, or a 10, because the second half was kind of like a generic disappointment. So that's why. But if that's all you're interested in, if you just want to know if it was good or not, it definitely is. You should definitely check it out. Like I said, it's on Netflix. Go watch it. Go watch it and then come back and watch the second half that I'm about to get into so that we can talk about the spoilers, okay? But thank you so much for watching. That's it for the non-spoiler part. Go ahead and click off. It was good to see you. Good to meet you. All right, now for my spoiler babies, come. Because we're about to get into it. Okay, so spoiler review time. So Arisu and his friends, on the first couple episodes we follow Arisu, his friend, and his two friends who I can't remember the name of, and then they meet a girl, is it Shizuki? Ooh, I'm gonna have to look that name up. But listen, my girl, Shibuki is her name. I just looked it up. Listen, my girl Shibuki, she was in it for the long run. She didn't end up making it, but she was in it for the long run. Like, she was playing the long game. And his two friends, Karibe and Shota, I know I'm pronouncing Karibe probably wrong, but that's how the English dub did it, so that's how I gotta do it. I'm sorry. Listen, just treat me like an anime English dub and don't judge me. So, Shibuki, when she hooked up with Shota, you knew she was playing the long game, because in that the first game that they do where the boys come out confused and then they kind of get explained to the rules by Shibuki, that's when it's revealed that they have to keep playing these games so that they can get a visa, because if they run out of days on their visa, then they're dead. Straight up. A laser comes out from the ceiling and kills them straight up, point blank. No questions, no mess, no fuss. Okay, no muss, no fuss. Like, so Shibuki starts trying to poison Shota against his friends, and it almost works. Because when Shota injures his leg, and then the other two go and play that other game to try and find a doctor for Shota, which kind of suspicious to me, because how you gonna find a doctor? And they didn't end up finding one, so really, why were they surprised when Shota came back and was like, we don't have time. Me and Shibuki don't have time to talk to y'all because we don't have time on our visas. Y'all play the game without us. Y'all have time on our visas, but we do not. Like, and they were like, whoa, why are you getting so upset? What's wrong? Like, he just said what was wrong. So, I did like the characters overall, though. Like, each person had their own personality, and I really liked that. But like, as you go through, and then listen, the way the series is gonna pull on your heartstrings, because when the wolf game came around, I think it was episode 3 or 4, y'all, the wolf game, Shibuki was running for her life. She was like, friendship schminship, I'm surviving. And then Shota and Karibe end up sacrificing themselves so that Arisu can survive. Because when Karibe hunts down Shibuki and gets the wolf, I guess, marker, so that he can survive, and then he runs away, and then he accidentally looks at Arisu, and then Arisu runs away, and Karibe's like, whoa, 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 whoa. The slow pan on the ring that Karibe was gonna give that other dude's girlfriend, I was not ready. And then the fact that both of them stayed quiet the whole time that Arisu started looking for them, the way Shota held his hand over Shibuki's mouth so that she couldn't scream and alert Arisu to their location. Stop it. My tears were already collecting. My eyes were already watering. And then now the show was dirty. The show was dirty, because when Karibe finally opens his mouth and says, stop shouting for us, we right here, thank you for being such a good friend. And then his head explodes. His head explodes right in front of Arisu. Talking about some keep on living. And then poof. I can laugh about it now because it was so... The show did Arisu so dirty. But listen, when it happened, I was crying. Oh, I was bawling. I was screaming just with Arisu, because you spent so much time establishing the friendship of these three people. And then while he's going through trying to take that collar off, and you just see the montage of all their memories together. Now, that was probably the best episode. Hands down, point blank, period. But then when you get to the other episodes, because they're dead now, so we can't follow them no more. And then I did like how they set up the girl Usagi. Can't remember her first name, but I like how they set up how she kind of like passed Arisu's like prone body out on the street a couple of times, and then she finally brought him home. I like that, because some series will be like, oh, she sees him the first time, she takes him home, even though they had previously established that she said you can only trust yourself. Like, that would have been weird. One scene she's saying you can only trust yourself, and then the next scene she's bringing some random man home that she don't know. So I did like that they kind of montage, like she walking past him in the rain, she walking past him on her daily jog. Like, I like that. I like that. And then the games, stop it. The games were top tier. Okay, they were so creative. But also, I didn't like how, like, in the second half, because the series is only eight episodes. But in the second half, like, as we get closer to the beach, and it turns out that the beach is an organization and not a place. Well, I guess it is kind of a place too, because I think that's what it's called. But when we get to like that part of the series and like we focus more on that, I feel like that's when it didn't get bad, but it stopped being as unique as it was in like the first half, because now we're focusing on like the organization. That wasn't as interesting to me, especially since like once the Hatter dies, and then Aguni is the one that takes over. That was like his right hand man that was keeping the militia people in line, and he just starts killing folks. I did not like that. And then you had Naragi, who was like your stereotypical, I was bullied, so now I'll bully other people and I'll like overcompensate to prove that I'm a man. Yeah, one of those. Can we retire that? Why are we still doing that? It's 2022. Why are we still doing that trope? It's grimy. It's disgusting. Can we not? Especially when they do, now warning, before I say this, warning. You can skip ahead. I'll put in the little timestamp, I'll skip this part. So if you don't want to hear this part, you can just skip ahead. But anyway, you know how they have like, murder, rape, and stealing? I was going to say theft. Or like human nature and blah, 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 blah. And this is why it's legal, blah, 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 that whole montage. There's a gratuitous rape scene, or an almost rape scene, that I was so uncomfortable watching because it dragged on way too long. And I was like, why is this in here? Because nothing ended up happening, thankfully. But like, why did we put this in here? The story could have progressed without it, because it's only in there, and then she's only ended up saving because the Ten of Hearts card appears, and that was the only card that they were missing, because they were trying to collect the cards to get back to their real world and not this fake like empty Tokyo, Japan. Like, she's only saved because a little announcement comes on that like all the remaining players in the beach house plaza mansion thing have to go into like the main foyer for this last final game, and like she escapes because of the confusion. Like, that could have been cut. That whole little scene could have been cut. I was not impressed. Can we cut that too? Is it not 2022? Do we not have better things to do? Do we not have more innovative ways to further the plot? I guess not. But so, other than that, and then like when at the very end, actually this is the point for the series, because like after they kind of do that last Ten of Hearts game, and I won't go too much into detail here either, because I do want to keep some non-spoiler stuff for my spoiler baby, so that you have something to look forward to. But it's like, After all that whole fiasco was said and done, before they find out who was behind everything, and they're just standing and seeing like the mansion burn and stuff. Actually, I won't say that part. I won't say that part because I don't want to spoil too much. Just know when you see that part, you're gonna know why I'm laughing. Because I will say this though. The militia people kill a lot of the other players, and then so when the house is burning and stuff and everybody else is, or the last remaining survivors have gotten out, Usagi tries to like beat up the remaining militia people. She's like, I can't forgive you for killing all these people. Like, no, I refuse. And then Arisu is like, no, like at this point, what matters is that we're all alive, so there's no reason for us to continue killing each other. And so one of the militia guys takes his gun and drops to his knees. And he puts it on his chin like this, and he pulls the trigger, and it clicks because it's empty. The relief on that man's face to still be alive was palpable. So that actor was doing his thing, okay, because he sold it. Like I know he was ready to fall out because he was still alive. I bet you he was like, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. But yeah, but the reason I was saying in the non-spoiler part of this review that it kind of devolved into like your general or your generic stereotypical season 2, not closer, I guess it would be a closer, your season 2 kind of like lead up, there we go, is because so one of the girls who ends up being, she's not a dealer, or I guess she is a dealer, but she's working for like the game masters, and she leaves a little like video recording showing how to get to their secret base. So Arisu and Usagi follow the video to get into the secret base, and of course now it's abandoned and all the game masters are dead because duh, why would they still be alive? Who was expecting them to still be alive? Not me. So they get there, and then Chishia and his little helper, I can't remember her name, but they're also there, and they kind of talk about how like they both thought they were going to get answers when they came, but now it's just more questions and they don't know what to do. And then the screens kind of all black out, and then it turns out that it was the girl who was one of the executives all along. She was the puppet master. She was pulling the strings the whole time, maneuvering everything into place. She was playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers. Actually, I don't even, because everybody else was confused, so I don't even think they were playing checkers. But listen, she was playing chess. She was moving stuff around to make sure that she stayed out on top, and guess what she did? She has the audacity, y'all, to get on the screen and be like, I have so many more games for y'all. Which I guess, of course, is like the season 2 part. But like, I didn't like that, like, it was a bunch of game masters in a room betting on who was going to live and who died. Like, I felt like there were so many places that they could have gone. But they went with that one. Because, oh shoot, was it the Chernobyl experiment? There was another movie that the ending kind of reminded me of, where like everybody was in different office buildings and they were all doing like a free-for-all, and like only one person could survive. It kind of reminded me of that, but I can't remember the movie. But I know y'all know what I'm talking about. If anybody remembers, leave it down in the comment section below. But yeah, so that part I didn't really care for, but I did like that they pulled in like the blimps and then they kind of dropped down the little flags of like all the face cards, because that was everything that they were missing. They had just finished all of the numbered cards with that 10 of Hearts game, and so now the face cards appeared, and I guess that's what we'll explore in season 2. Overall, this show was immaculate, okay? Like I said, 7.5 out of 10. Go watch it if you haven't already. It's on Netflix. Watch this show, okay? Alice in Borderland. You did your thing. But that's all I have for you guys. That was the end of this spoiler section. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, like I said, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave me a comment down below. If you decide to watch it, come back and comment and tell us what your thoughts are on Alice in Borderland. Or if you haven't watched it, go ahead and leave in the comments if you think you're gonna watch it or not. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye y'all. Hope you have a great week.